All right, Miss Harris, we are live. Are you ready to
All
do this thing?
right. Hello, hello.
Let's
Thank
do
you
it.
for having me. I'm so
Hey,
excited to be here.
all right, we're finna run this intro and get ready. You ready for it?
Okay, I'm ready. I'm
Let's go.
ready.
Ktteev, giving you what you need. Motivation, education unleashed. H-Town representing, we forever keep it rolling. Join the conversation with inspirational stories. Thought provoking, feel that energy. Kendrick Thomas aiming to lift the community. True indeed, tune in, come and see. Giving you what you need. Ktteev, let's go. Ktteev.
Oh, hello. Wait a minute.
I'm so excited. My name is Dr. Rochelle Santee of the Santee and Associates Foundation. We have a magnificent surprise that we want to share with everybody, and we're going to allow Mr. KT to open up the surprise.
Well, the time has come. November 30th, 2022 has officially become KT Day in the city. Doing a little bit to honor my mom and making this a special event. So, therefore, in honor of that, I am doing something special with the Santee Foundation. Please, Dr. Santee, can you let them know?
We will also, just to let you know, we will also be honoring this amazing man. Mr. KT is the principal of the A-Leaf Learning Center. And we all know that it takes a village to raise our children, and he is a part of that village. So we will also be honoring him with a presidential award on November the 30th. That's right. He did not know, and I overspoke. But he will be honored with a presidential award. We have yet to see nothing but success come from him. And because he's walking the walk and talking the talk, the Santee and Associates Foundation supports him.
Thank you. And I look forward to seeing everybody bringing in clothes,
Toys.
and food.
Because we want to leave what, KT?
No family behind.
Thank you.
Well,
All right.
look, I didn't want to break that till today, but now, November 30th is Mom's birthday.
All right.
And so we wanted to make sure that I set it up right, do something that was long lasting for her. So I just said, we're going to celebrate. Wait a minute. This sounds kind of selfish now that I said. We're going to celebrate me on her birthday. But that's okay, though, because I'm
Woo,
giving to other people, right? And that's
I
what it's
love it.
about. That's what it's about. So looking forward to that. We'll be doing December 3rd, clothes, food, toys, anything.
Mm,
Looking forward to having people there. So
mhm.
now that we have made that announcement, let's get
Yes.
back to the business at hand.
All
Miss
right.
Nicole, hold on, wait, shout out. Look at Miss Robinson. So now, let's start this thing. What it do, KTTV? This is KT. And now you are tuned in to another episode of Education Unleashed. And on today's episode, I have the executive director. That sounds so official. The executive director
I love it.
of today's youth, Ms. Nicole Harris. How you doing tonight, Ms. Nicole?
Oh, I am doing well. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here, happy to be talking to you, and just excited about what we're going to be talking about on tonight.
Look, as I look through all of the information and I just follow what today's youth has been doing, you're looking at the conference, all the programs in place. I am very honored to be talking to you as you're doing so much work for our youth. When,
Thank
as an
you.
educator, it's in the words of Whitney Houston, the children are the future.
They are the future. They are the
Hey,
future. You got to love them. You have to love them.
so before we jump into anything, wellness check in these times is so important. So I would ask, how are you?
Mm,
And especially after
mhm.
putting on that conference,
Yes,
successful conference,
yes,
how are
yes.
you managing your self-care?
Well, I am managing myself well. A nice cup of chai tea and some nature sounds is all I need to relax, and a good book. So I take my me time, I light a candle, and you got to take that time. You have to take some time during the day or at some point just to relax, relate, and release. So I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Taking care of yourself, man, that should be allowed. Like a Friday off
You
should be
should.
allowed
You
every now and then.
I've heard about a 3-day week coming or a
Look,
4-day week.
look, I'm just ready for this Thanksgiving break so we
I
can
know,
just,
girl.
hey.
Hey, you're not lying about that. I love it. I
Look,
love it.
look, so I think about your background, right? And like I said, as I looked for information for tonight, political science, the nonprofit and leadership work. At what point in your life did you say, this is the work? Thinking about what you're going through right now, what your
Uh-huh.
body feeling like. At what point did you say, this is what I want to do?
You know, it's been a series of things.
Mhm.
I am originally from New York. I'm from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
I grew up, in an urban area, inner city. I went to HBCU that was in an urban area, inner city. And when I graduated from college, I became an AmeriCorps member. So I did AmeriCorps for 2 years, and that's a national service, initiative. And when I did that, I fell in love. I fell even more in love with helping.
Yeah.
Always been a community oriented person. I've always wanted to help. I've always wanted to, get out there and make a difference. And after doing AmeriCorps and really working with so many youth, working with so many different communities, helping to put on events and bring people together, I said, okay, this is it. This is where I belong. This is what it is that I want to do. Really, that motivating and inspiring, bringing people together. So it's really, I don't know. It's kind of like been everything. It's been everything.
Yeah, that's good though. Man, okay, New York. So that's a whole different stuff. Now you about to take me there. So thinking about New York, fast city, a lot going on. Did you start programs like this in New York, or did you kind of wait and got here?
Oh, it was definitely when I got to Georgia.
Yeah. Okay.
Georgia is where my nonprofit began. We began in Georgia, and then we moved here to Texas. Got married, moved here, and we began operating here in Texas.
Yeah.
But from growing up in New York and going to school in the urban area, you kind of see the need. You kind of see the need as far as working with youth, as far as really making that difference. And so I just kind of, went with it, after doing AmeriCorps for 2 years and doing all the volunteer service and things like that. I said, this is where I want to be. I want to create an organization that really speaks to youth and helps to motivate and inspire them.
Well, that's what you're
And
doing.
that's how we come to today's youth.
Today's youth. Look, how did you get the name though? Today, I mean, it's so self-explanatory, and in the business they say you don't want to have to question what are they doing.
Right. Well, it's interesting because we didn't start out as today's youth. We had a much longer name when when we were operating in Georgia. But then it's interesting when we got here to Texas, the name that we had in Georgia was it wasn't available here in Texas. Okay. And, my board at the time was kind of like, okay, we talked about it and it was like, all right, today's youth, that's what we do. That's who we are. That's who we are targeting. That's where we want to see the difference in our program. So today's youth, that's how we got here.
Look, Doug, it does not take a whole day to recognize sunshine.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Put it together. This
and
is what it
just flows. It just flows. You can use today's youth.
Yes.
Yeah. So it just works.
Man. Well, I'm thankful to have this conversation about today's youth because I'm in the schoolhouse. You are creating programs outside of the schoolhouse, now moving into the schoolhouse.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like just serving students from different arenas, right?
Right.
So please give us a little bit more of, I guess, a little bit of the foundation and maybe the students that you serve.
Well, we work with students 10 to 18. We work with at-risk and vulnerable youth. And I know there's been some comments at times on the term at-risk, but we use at-risk because a whole nother story, but I do believe it's an accurate term. So we work with at-risk and vulnerable youth, and there being a difference in the two. So we consider vulnerable youth youth who may be struggling with anxiety, youth who, they could not fit in, social anxiety, bullied or something along those lines. And we consider at-risk students who may live, a certain environment or have other factors outside of their control impacting them or possibly impacting them. So we work with at-risk and vulnerable youth 10 to 18 in low to mid-income communities. And so we motivate and inspire. We do that through our entrepreneurship programs. We do that through workforce development. And then we also do that through our life skill programs. So we use a really comprehensive curriculum that actually starts from elementary school. So our goal is to begin working with our students in elementary school and go all the way through until high school, offering different programs and really exposing them to different opportunities.
Now, when you think about elementary school, look, is as a boys club leader, right? I worked with students 2, 3, and 4. When I started working with the second graders, and I would have programs that were almost tailored for the 4th graders, I would lose my second graders. So then I said, I have to start, not to be exclusive, but I have to just start where I can grab them, where they can have more cognizant knowledge of what's going on.
Right.
What grades do you start with in elementary, and what made you pick that grade level?
We start with 5th grade. So we're starting with late elementary school going into middle school. So our goal is to introduce ourselves to them in elementary school in 5th grade. Middle school is tricky. Middle school can be, the toughest out of elementary and maybe even high school because, they're kids, they're teenagers, they're going through those changes and, attitudes, sometimes as my mother used to say, they start smelling themselves and, it can be crazy. Hey. So we start with 5th grade going into middle school. We want to catch them right when they're going through that transition and then work with them throughout middle school into high school. So we start with 5th graders.
Man. Okay. So see,
we start with 5th graders.
That is even better, because now, that's that intermediate for our district, that 5th and 6th. So they do have it, right? But when you start getting up in that 7th and 8th,
it can be hard. It can be tough. It can be tough. But, they want attention too.
Yeah, we just call it tricky.
Yeah, they want attention too. They want programs too. Yes. And I think even, myself, when I was in 7th and 8th grade, I wanted to be a part of leadership programs. I wanted to, learn how to grow into a successful and positive adult. And that's really what our goal is. We want all youth. It'd be wonderful if all youth can develop into successful adults who have the skills to really achieve their dreams. And with what we do, we seek to accomplish that goal. So yes, we work with them from 5th grade and we have different programs, different curriculum. It's not the same curriculum. We're not going over the same materials or following the same curriculum rather, or lesson plans with each group. So what you learn in 5th grade is going to be different from what you learn in 6th grade. Okay, what you learn in high school is different from what you would learn in middle school. And with that, even one of our programs is called Youth Entrepreneurial Success. And we're actually doing our 2nd cohort of that now with currently it's going to be wrapping up soon, but we're doing it now. And that's a 7-week program. And that program is specifically for high school students. So we try to introduce new things to them that help them along the way, develop some real skills that'll help them as they go into adulthood.
Man, nice. Like, I think about a student that I work with and, like I give the brother an investing book every day, and so he reads it. He's just, but you think about those skills that you need. I wish someone when I was in high school would have said, "Hey, there's this thing called the stock market, and if you invest now and let it sit, you may can have a different life." But so you think about those pieces, and that's why programs like yours are so important. So the conference last week, virtual.
Yep, virtual conference. And, we do that purposely so that we can touch more than just here in Houston.
Yes.
So, we're fortunate that, when we do it, we may have people from New York, we may have people from Virginia. We actually had, participants from Virginia, participants from, the UK, it varies. But we have it because what I found is that they all need help. So whether I'm here in the United States or whether I'm in Texas or in Virginia, everyone is looking for that information that's going to help them. So at our youth conference, we had different topics. So, and these were topics that when we met with some of the youth in our program, our older youth in our program, and we kind of asked them what would be some really great topics for this conference. Yeah. And so, it was dealing with anxiety, dealing with peer pressure, suicide awareness.
Man.
Like our kids are dealing with real issues
daily.
And sometimes, they may need to go somewhere that they can choose, what workshop they want to go into, where they can listen to an expert, give them some tips. Maybe not mom or dad, but another expert that can give them some tips that they can walk away with and say, you know what, I can use that. When I'm feeling anxious, let me do what, Miss Milton said, which was one of our facilitators from MHA. But it happens, And so we're excited about that. We're excited about that.
With it being so recent, I don't know if you got it all yet, but thinking about that feedback of having that conference, the reactions from the students, from the attendees, what did you learn that you want to change for next year?
We wanted to add more. So right now, how the conference is, or was rather, is that, we have our facilitators, we do it virtual. So everyone is able to go into separate rooms with their facilitator. Facilitators will present and they're able to kind of, be in a classroom. But what we found is that we want to do more breakout rooms. We like when they have the breaks, really giving them the opportunity to, talk amongst themselves. Yeah. So if I'm from England and, you're from, Houston, how can we set up, or what can we create more of so that everyone can really network as if they're at a conference, as if they're at an in-person conference. We also included raffles. So we raffled off some books, gift cards, Chick-fil-A. And it's kind of like, it's kind of like, what else can we do? What else can we raffle off to really engage people? And how can we let people, really kind of mingle, as if, again, as if they're at a real conference? What can we add? Yeah. So that's really what we've learned from it. It's one, topics, of course, making sure we're always getting feedback from, our youth on what the topic should be, but also including more time for them to talk and having, more rooms where they can go into and have conversations led by volunteers on other issues that youth may be facing.
And have you thought about doing maybe a hybrid version or anything like that, or you would rather just keep it all virtual going forward?
We've thought about in person, and I feel like in person would be a whole nother beast. It'd be a whole nother, level of coordination and kind of getting people there and getting youth there. And, so, for next year, that may be an idea as well, doing a hybrid, and kind of mixing it up that way. So, that's a good suggestion. We'll take it.
Look, I would definitely say, well, that is a nice suggestion. If it ain't broke, don't break it. Right? If they showing you got reach, you're gaining, I would definitely say don't break it. Just keep it
rolling. Yes. But it's a great idea because again, we're trying to create in-person experience online. Yeah. So it becomes, how do we do that?
Now, you talked a little bit about the curriculum earlier. Girls curriculum, boys curriculum. And I remember you said it's not the same. So is it comprehensive? And can you give us maybe some ideas of what that would look like if I'm a parent interested in getting my kids in?
So there are 4 modules that we concentrate on in our, I'll start with middle school. So with middle schools, we go over goal setting, we go over decision making, we go over healthy relationships, and we also introduce them to entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is a major part or major component of what it is that we do. Someone asked me, they said, well, are they doing the businesses that they create? I said, I don't know. I'm not sure. I said, but whether they are or they aren't, the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship is that, or being taught it, is that it will teach youth how to think. It teaches them how to have an idea and think it through from beginning to end. What resources do I need? What do I need to make this idea happen? So we go over entrepreneurship as well. And specifically with our goal setting, we go over, how to set goals, long-term, short-term. What resources do you need to achieve those goals? Creating an action plan, taking it step by step. And then we go over decision making. And that is by far one of my favorite modules. It's a process, but we have to teach our kids how to make decisions. Are you thinking about the consequences? Are you thinking about what could happen? Are you weighing your options? So we go over decision making, we go over goal setting, and then we also talk about healthy relationships. So that's always a big one, especially with the girls. Healthy relationships, but we talk a lot about that as well. We talk about that a lot, and that they remember so much from the workshops. Yeah. We did breakfast. We had a fundraising breakfast a couple of weeks ago, and so we had one of our participants from the program come and speak. And I almost teared up. I had to turn my head because I was like, oh my goodness, I can't cry right now. I can't. But when I heard her talking about what we learned in the healthy relationships, module, and how that, impacted her and how that's going to help her, I was like, oh my gosh, wow, that's what it's about. Or even, when we're talking about assertive communication and getting feedback from parents saying, what, I can see the difference in my daughter from her participating in this program. It touches you. So that's kind of what we go over. We go over goal setting, decision making, healthy relationships, and entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so powerful. Now, having all those programs, I think about the kids at my high school, regardless of what age level, right? Is I want to belong, I want to be a part. All the way from elementary to high school. Within your organization, as you plan these conferences, as you plan those workshops and lessons, how do you make kids feel like this is, in a sense, these days you have to be cool, or you gotta make it look cool. So how do you, when you target your students, how do you, I guess, talk about that or play on that?
Well, my son gave me some really great advice.
See, there we go.
When we were starting the programs, I said, what do we need? How can we get them? He said, food. The Mom, you need food, you need some good snacks, and you need some food, and you need to tell them that when they come, they're going to get pizza, and that's going to get them there. He said that's at least going to get them there. But we do, of course, provide snacks and great food and that kind of thing. But honestly, the girls who come to our program, they, want to be there. So when we do our registration and they're like, well, what are we going to learn about? And we'll say, we're going to talk about healthy relationships. That gets them because they want to talk about relationships and they want to talk about, whoever they're dating or, how to navigate that, what that actually looks like. And then I'll say, do you want to learn how to be a strong woman? Do you want to learn how to be a strong man? Do you want to know what that takes? Like, yeah, I want to know. Okay, well, you need to sign up and you need to come on every week. I need to see you every day. Okay. And then also when our students sign up during registration, call the parents. Have them write their numbers down and you call the parents and you sell it to the parents. You tell the parents what the program is about, how it's going to benefit their child, and the parents will make sure the kids get there.
Yes.
So that's kind of what we do. So we'll, talk to them. We'll make sure they have snacks. We tell them the great things that we're going to be doing. We also take them on enrichment activities. So, we might take them to see a play. We might take them to the movies, and we let them decide. It might be roller skating or things like that. So they're able to see, okay, I'm going to learn something. I'm going to get food. I'm going to get snacks. I'm going to get little gifts, and I'm going to go on a field trip or something along those lines and do something fun. Okay, I'll come.
And how many years have you been in the city?
We've been in the city since 2011.
Okay.
But we just reopened our doors in 2021.
Okay.
So we've been here. We're doing some restructuring, just looking at our programs, building relationships, and so we've been, we just reopened our doors in 2021.
Yeah, and it's just so awesome. I would want to know the data as far as maybe starting off with that fifth grader and how does that look. Not even if it's not all the way to high school, but as you go, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, and they keep coming back. What's that development? Did you have any students like that?
Not as of yet, because right now our focus is only on middle school. So in 2023, our goals are to get into elementary schools, and because we have a community partnership, we're able to, kind of navigate that. Yeah. But specifically, we only want to go to specific elementary schools. So our goal is to go into or to start in elementary schools that are zoned to the middle schools that we're at, and then to go into high schools where the middle school students are zoned as well. So right now, our focus has been middle school, and then beginning on next year, we'll go into elementary schools as well, at least.
Sound like a high school. And so we're going to a high school program. We're going to recruit all the football boys in the middle school that's zoned to us. Bring them on up.
Come on. Come on. So yeah.
Okay, that's cool though. Being able to kind of go back and bring those students. And so you're already partnering. I know you said community partners. So what districts are you working with at this time?
Wonderful. We are with HISD.
Okay.
So we have a community partnership with HISD. And so again, that affords us the opportunity to go into schools. We're also at community centers. So right now we are at Steve Raddick Community Center. And so we've been able to operate both our Boys on a Mission program as well as our Girls on a Move program there.
That's nice. And let's see, Amber said, congrats. Thank you. That was
Thank you.
And then she said, hello.
Yes.
Arthur said he want to connect. So how did he get?
Yes, I would love
to. So we'll make sure we drop the information at the end, and that way he'll see it live, or either be able to go back and kind of catch up with you to get that going, because it's all about networking.
Yes,
so then now, as a nonprofit, we know that donations and funding propel the vision.
It propels the vision.
Hey, so now explain to the audience with the donations, like, what are they pouring into, and then how can they pour into the organization?
Wonderful. That's a great question. Thank you. So 80% of your dollar, when you donate to today's youth, 80% of what you donate is going directly to services. And what exactly does that mean? Well, we provide a lot. We do a lot for our kiddos. So whether that's t-shirts, whether that's actual books on leadership development, whether that's surprises, whether that's taking them on their enrichment activities, all of that is free. It's to absolutely no cost to the student. And so your donations allows us to continue to do that. Your donations allows us to continue to motivate our boys, to empower our girls, to, build the next generation of business leaders through our programs.
And how can they reach you? I mean, donate. How can they do this?
Giving Tuesday is coming up. Giving Tuesday is coming up. And you can reach us. You can go to www.todays-youth.org to donate. We appreciate your donations. You can also volunteer with us. We need volunteers for our virtual programs. We need volunteers for our in-person programs, as well as when we are in school. So we do after-school programs, and we, as Kedrick said earlier, we will begin doing programs during school time. So if you are committed to youth and you say, "Oh, I love them," I want to work with these middle school girls and these middle school boys, you should volunteer with us. Or even if with our entrepreneurial programs, which are, like, as I said, are going on now, it's getting ready to wrap up, but it's a 7-week program called Youth Entrepreneurial Success. And so if you are of the entrepreneurial mind and you want to help these kids develop their business plans, because with that program in particular, we have a business plan competition, and they present their idea to a panel of judges, and they win a monetary prize, a trophy, as well as a feature in our newsletter and on our website. But we can always use volunteers to help the kids, to help them develop their ideas. And so that might be another way that you're interested in working with this.
Sound like a baby Shark Tank.
Hey, it is. But you know what? These kids come up with some great ideas. Don't underestimate them because they're in high school. They have millionaires who are in high school right now, but these kids have great ideas. Ideas.
Look, I worked with First Lego League, and these students were I don't even know if they made it to high school yet. And so their minds and what they created as far as robots out of Legos. When I think about business, I know like there's nothing. I think about my friend Crystal and what she does with Target Evolution. And I mean, it's real.
It is.
You know? Yes.
It is. It really is. It really is. And we love that, though, with that particular program that's for our high school students. So that's one way that we're really, introducing them, helping them with public speaking and all of that great stuff. We have the facilitators who come in to do those workshops are leaders in their field. So, we have our facilitators coming in and doing marketing and budgeting and things of that nature. We're grateful for our volunteers who are leaders in their field to come in and teach those kids that information. But they love it. We've had a great turnout with it as well. And with I'm going to go back for a minute. When we work with the middle school students and we're introducing them to entrepreneurship, you'd be surprised how many of them don't really know that even as a teenager, they're teenagers who, had the idea and developed it, and they're entrepreneurs now, they're millionaires or whatever have you. But it's important just to introduce that to them, to let them know you can do it. You can do it. Yeah. Think that idea through.
Yeah. If they can see it, then they believe they can do it, but they gotta see it. That's the biggest thing.
They have to see it. Yes. They have to see it. Yeah. That's nothing we do. What's the vision? Because I don't want to keep going on.
No, we good.
But, I've learned that it starts with your vision, and if you have a vision for what you want to do in the future, your decisions and your attitude and your goals are going to be geared toward that vision. Yeah. So we spend a lot of time with that as well, especially in middle school. What's your vision? What you want to do? What you think you want to do? Think big. Envision something big. You know what I mean? So we love it.
Yes. All right. Not to reference nothing bad, but that make you sound that famous meme that was going out and say you're not thinking big. You gotta think big. All right. Look, Mika said, "Wow, free! What a great incentive of the program." You're right.
It is, and listen, when my kids when they sign up, sometimes I call them my kids, but when they sign up, like, is this free? Because my mom not gonna let me participate if I gotta pay. So no, baby, it's free. But
what an awesome service! But that's why shows or platforms like this, to be able to get the message out, to get the word out about the awesomeness in a city of 5 million, 6 million. We should never need a donation, but the thing is, how do we get to everybody?
Yes. Please. As I said, Giving Tuesday, it's coming up, and if you do want to donate, we appreciate your donations. They definitely help us to expand our vision, to go into elementary schools, to go into high schools, and really, continue to motivate and inspire our youth to achieve their goals and really exceed their expectations. I want you to do more than you think you can. you know. So your donations, they help us do that. So we appreciate that. Thank you.
Now, end of the year, wrapping up, the conference is done. I know you're going to get some rest. But first quarter of the year, what is today's youth doing? What's next?
We are preparing. We do programs in the fall. We do summer programs. So, you know, we're basically preparing. We're making sure that we have all the resources that we need to continue to expand our program. So our program, it's a 5-month leadership development program. So Girls on the Move, that's for girls, obviously. Boys on a Mission, the same. Those are 5-month programs. So our programs start in October and they're going into next year. And so once those programs end, we're preparing for the fall. We're preparing to go into elementary schools. We're preparing to go into middle schools and just continue to expand our program. We're preparing for our summer camp initiatives as well as our leadership programs in the summer. So we're just preparing. It's a saying that I love. It's called, and some people may know it. It's a prior preparation prevents poor performance. So, you know, we're preparing. We are preparing, just making sure we have everything we need to serve our youth to the best of our ability.
Man, that is so awesome. Okay. Well, I wanted to say thank you.
Thank you.
Taking some time to drop all this knowledge on us and tell us about it.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Look, you know it is. So remember I said my MTV jams on my announcement. So we're about to run the announcement one more time for everybody.
And congratulations to you too. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. We just gonna keep it running.
Keep it running. I love it. I love it.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
See you soon.
Okay. Have a good one. Thanks.
Foundation. We have a magnificent surprise that we want to share with everybody, and we're going to allow Mr. KT to open up the surprise.
Well, the time has come. November 30th, 2022 has officially become KT Day in the city. Doing a little bit to honor my mom and making this a special event. So therefore, in honor of that, I am doing something special with the Santee Foundation. Please, Dr. Santee, can you let them know?
We will also, just to let you know, we will also be honoring this amazing man. Mr. KT is the principal of the A-Leaf Learning Center. And we all know that it takes a village to raise our children, and he is a part of that village. So we will also be honoring him with a presidential award on November the 30th. That's right. He did not know, and I overspoke. But he will be honored with a presidential award. We have yet to see nothing but success come from him. And because he's walking the walk and talking the talk, the Santee and Associates Foundation supports him.
Thank you. And I look forward to seeing everybody bringing in clothes, toys, and food.
Because we want to leave what, KT?
No family behind.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood.
This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTV.
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 KTTV.